Thank you all so much. Well, I just wanted to close this out really quickly with recapping some of the priorities that we heard from you and some of the themes that we heard today. So and of course, I cannot read that. I'm blind as a bat. So basically, I'll do my best to highlight this. So we did have some really strong survey responses on a number of issues, and the themes sort of seem to really gel around consumer access and engagement and education, which I thought was really interesting. I think it was so refreshing to hear from the Consumer Voices group today and just, the novel perspectives that brings to bear. Privacy is definitely elevating as an area of interest, of common and shared interest, and in particular, and it's come up a lot in informal conversations recently around consent and consent management and what that might look like. Expanding exchange purposes beyond treatment is definitely an area of interest. And we also saw themes of there was an interest in possibly having Sequoia facilitate more of a coordinated rollout for things that are new and changing. So when we think about rolling out TEFCA, how does that align with existing exchange efforts? What can we do to assure that we're not disrupting current exchange? And the same thing goes with really having a coordinated rollout in terms of FHIR, for instance, FHIR-based exchange. Data quality usability, still very much of interest. Directories, there were a couple different comments and issues around that, something we might want to unpack a little bit. And then there were numerous other topics that were raised. So if you don't see your particular issue that you might have commented on, don't worry, we're going to synthesize this further. I just jumped out a couple minutes ago and reviewed the results from the teams. This is hot off the presses from today. And then, these were, sort of ranking areas of interest. I don't know that these are in any particular order. You can see, again, thematically, areas where you all would like to coalesce. And so what we'd like to do is, now that we have sort of a pared back list, is maybe socialize this further and see and scope out what could we do, what area of interest do you all have. So, and then we also wanted to know what sort of resources and engagement you all were interested in. There was sort of modest interest in most of the things we had on the survey, but these three popped to the top, and that is a member directory, and then of course getting together in person around annual meetings and work group meetings. What this tells me is that I hope that you all are finding value in convening and getting together and sharing thoughts and perspectives on issues. I know I've learned a lot and have always found, the conversation, the content today really being very, very rich. So in looking, at what the key takeaways are from the meeting, we know working on TEFCA what we're doing every day to move the ball and meet our timelines, and which are sometimes arbitrarily imposed by certain people who will remain nameless. But what's striking to me is how much this is top of mind for so many people here, and that this does appear to, have value and ability to move it forward. And that really is a pretty profound takeaway for me. Promoting a culture of information sharing, I think moving away from thinking about that in a regulatory context and really making it real in a day-to-day, I think was wonderful. We like this one, data usability is taking root. So we will have a follow-up call to action where we want to bring together a group of early adopters who want to help us figure out how do we roll that out? How do we implement this incredible work that group pulled together and make strides in improving the usability of data in a coordinated way and a very concrete way? And so that's one I think that's really exciting. The consumer is at the heart of interoperability. I think, we always knew that intellectually, but hearing from the real life experiences from people challenged to, really just take care of themselves and loved ones really resonated. There is a real strategic interest in public health, not just, as a response, in response to the pandemic, but because it matters. And this is an opportunity to leverage the infrastructure that we're building and make it multi-purpose and multi-use and improve our preparedness for emergencies and improve and support public health. I think we have so much we can accomplish at Sequoia. Our only constraint is time and resources, but what we're realizing is that our community is growing so tremendously, and we're really just touched by the level of commitment that you all are showing and spending your time with us today, but also just really dedicating so much of your time and energy to our mission. And so finally, we also want to not only use our platform and convening and bringing it together stakeholders to learn and advance interoperability, but also share those perspectives with policymakers, and I think, we have a good trajectory to do that. So I want to close out by saying again, thank you so much for joining me, to the team for all their incredible work. I want to do a special call out to Matt Blackman and his daughter Eliza. I don't know if you know this, but she is a college student and she volunteered her time today to help her dad. So the dynamic duo, father-daughter duo, are running the mics around. So thank you, Eliza, for joining us. And with that, I wish you all safe travels and happy holidays and Happy New Year.